Another millennium from this time. Were an archaeologist of the future to contemplate the ruin of London, what civilization would they imagine? With what spectral people thronged the streets? What armies of ghosts march through shattered arches and parade past tributes to long-forgotten victories? The faces of the smashed and fallen statues would look out from the past. Their faces, those of an imperial people, of a nation certain of its place in history. Their monuments, proud boasts of power, allegories of courage, symbolic of mastery. Carved in subjection and servitude, the races of the world would stand in submission and defeat. The golden years of the British imperial era, the time when these monuments were built, lies at the very limit both of living memory and of our ability to record events with moving images. Survivors of these times lived them only as the smallest of infants. Pictures that reveal this world, some of the earliest blurred and shaky cinema film. These are pictures of a lost world. In 1897, Victoria, Queen Empress, celebrated her Diamond Jubilee, 60 years of rule. British self-confidence and might stood unchallenged. The parades, triumphal celebrations of the spirit of a small European nation who ruled a quarter of the Earth's surface and people. A nation whose trade and industry dominated the world economy. A nation whose wealth and power were envied by all others. A nation who believed itself to represent the best and highest civilization. Who saw itself as the very culmination of history. The 19th century had been a history of constant victory by European armies over indigenous peoples, who had seen their military might annihilated by superior European military skill, discipline, and European weaponry. Non-Europeans saw the imperialists as possessing a bewildering array of technologies that confirmed the foreigners' mastery. The dominance of European peoples was believed right, just, and natural. The poet of the British Empire, Rudyard Kipling, created the phrase, "the white man's burden." Take up the white man's burden. Send forth the best ye breed. Go bind your sons to exile, to serve your captives' need. To wait in heavy harness on fluttered folk and wild, your new court sullen peoples, half devil and half child. Throughout the territories they ruled, the governors of the British Empire saw their role as being the bringers of civilization, of law and order. If ruled peoples were not seen as out-and-out savages, then they were believed to be infant nations that needed protection, nurturing and education. Despite the fact that much of its early wealth had been built around slavery and the effective looting of the East, the British Empire was proud of being the European nation whose navy had suppressed the slave trade. Indian society, for all its long history of art, architecture and literature, was a society from which the British were proud to have eliminated suttee, the ritual human sacrifice of a woman on her husband's funeral pyre, and thugi, a religious cult based on murder. Those Indian princes that paid homage to the King Emperor at the Durbar no longer had arbitrary powers of life or death over their subjects. It was a characteristic of the British Empire that everywhere the British went, they established courts of law and a sophisticated legal system. It was a code of law that was extended to all the Empire's subjects, whatever their race, the principles of fairness and justice.